What's up, guys? It's Jordan here again. It's Monday, which means I'm back, hopefully with something interesting, or at least you might learn a little something that is relevant to you right now. Top tips and common mistakes. The series continues. This week it is on events, whether that be live events, webinars, streaming, any of those kind of situations. I've got a few top tips and common mistakes that people do make when they are thinking about running events. Let's start with the top tips because I'm a positive guy and we don't want to start with mistakes, even though I think I started with mistakes last week. Make sure that the event's recorded, whether it be a webinar, stream, or live. Now, the reason for that is if it's recorded, you can offer it to others who weren't able to make the event. You can also break down that content, which I talk about all the time, so that you can then distribute it on your social media platforms. Maybe you put teasers for the next events on your websites. Whatever you're doing, try and find a situation where it's recorded. So something like what I'm doing now, I'm actually recording this on Zoom. You can use Zoom, obviously, to record your meetings. You can have a meeting and record that meeting as well. So you can use Zoom or something like Teams to run an online event. And they have a simple solution for recording that so that you can access it afterwards. Then you can, what I'll do now is I'll pull this apart, I'll take the audio off, make it sound a little nicer, do bits and pieces, chop it up, all that kind of stuff after the fact. Live events, you just need a camera setup. Also, in my opinion, you should have microphones, especially for those speaking, for those asking questions in the audience, that kind of stuff. You want to make sure you've got a microphone to do that. And look, it doesn't have to be an extremely fancy video recording setup. Just make sure the content's there. Some people get worried about, okay, well, if I record it, then people aren't going to show up. They're just going to watch it later, which might tell you something about your audience anyway. Maybe that it's better to do online events than it is to do live events, even though getting in person, I like to be in person. A lot of people don't like being in person. They prefer to sit in their pajamas and absorb content. Or events or whatever it may be that you're running. So just have a think about that. But yeah, what I'd say is record it. You don't need a fancy camera, just need a camera, something that will record the whole event, and try and set it up so that you're using a microphone as well, so that you get the best possible level of professionalism for those who are watching it afterwards. Tip 2, consider your audience and the convenience. Okay, so I just kind of touched on this. Is it convenient? Fly going around? Or there's always something goes wrong on these videos. This time it's a fly on my face. Consider your audience in a sense of, like I said before, do they want to sit down and watch their content at home and watch the event at home, or would they rather be in person? I have a client recently who went back to live events post-COVID. Following that, the turnout was not as good, and they actually had an audience that was all around New Zealand and potentially globally. So think about that. Maybe your audience is global. Sure, maybe there's a whole lot. You live in Auckland, you've got a whole lot of audience in Auckland, but what about those guys who can't fly all the way from the city that's behind me, which you'll have to guess? That might help. I'd put that right in the middle so you guys couldn't guess too easy. Yeah, so consider that and think about the convenience side of it as well. Maybe the online event is better than the live event. But either way, events are great. Okay? You can stream them too. You can do live events streamed. Another way, yeah, kind of, there's all sorts of different things you can do with events and the way that you present them to the internet and to your audience. Maximize your setup for the best possible level of professionalism. So, What does the venue look like? Can I use the speaker system? Can I set the chairs and tables up in a way that's more communal or better for absorbing a PowerPoint or whatever it is? Think about all those things before you actually run the event. Can I get it sounding good? Is it a big space and I need a microphone? Again, should I have it recorded? Yes, you should have it recorded. But all of those types of things. Who is the person who's going to see the event and what do they want from it? Have a think about that before, like leading up to it. What's the best? How can I maximize the experience for the people who come along? Mistakes. 3 mistakes. Lack of marketing and advertising leading up to the event, especially on social media. So people don't tell people. If you're going to run an event, tell people about it. especially leading up to it. Put it on your social medias. Put a little post. Doesn't have to be fancy, but just remind people, here's a link. If you want to register, boom, boom, boom. Easy, easy. Eliminate those barriers for people getting from A to Z in terms of registration and all those sort of things, so that it simplifies the process. Like buying something online, you want to be able to get to the checkered flag as quick as possible. Same as signing up for an event and getting to the event. Consider all those things. Being complacent about the equipment and the venue that they're using for the event. So, oh yeah, she'll be right. Oh, Zoom, I haven't really used it before. Oh crap, we're having a whole lot of problems in the event. Oh yeah, we'll check out the venue on the day, and you get there and go, oh man, it had all these cool things we could have used differently. So try not to be complacent. Make sure you organise in advance, audio visual, but also the actual event itself. PowerPoint's another one. Shit, the PowerPoint's not working. Oh, they didn't have a projector, whatever it was. Things like that do happen, so try not to be complacent about those. And not reusing the content. So I'll always talk about this. Make sure you reuse the content in the way that you want to for marketing your business, and also, in my opinion, marketing further events. So you reuse it so that you can get people engaged in further events with teasers. Holy moly, this was attempt number 1. I don't think I've ever managed to do this. I was always been working on getting it out in one hit, and stoked with that effort. Probably because I got to run off to lunch. Got a meeting now, and I wanted to get it done out of the way. Hopefully I'm not late, but I don't care because I'm stoked to got it out in one hit. Contact me if you want any help around your audio visual or your event planning. Check me out on my website, www.nzaudioeditors.com. You can find me there and all that good stuff on socials, all the different places. Otherwise, have a wicked Monday. Peace out until next week.